How's it going, everyone? Thought I'd do a quick live. If you tuned in, give us a thumbs up, say hey. Let me know where you're from. If you've got any questions, then post them down there as well. Be good to hear from you guys. We're doing a lot of our posts actually inside Facebook now, inside our community group on Facebook, just because I think it's just easy to get engagement on that platform rather than Instagram. It's kind of posts and stories, but in the Facebook group, we can actually reply to people's comments and have a conversation. So spend a lot more time in there. So if you want to join that, go to Facebook, type in MatchFit Community, request to join, answer all 3 questions, and yeah, you'll be able to come inside and join the rest of the discussion with all the other players. Louisa, you're an idiot. All right. Actually, the main reason for doing this is because something's been grinding me a little bit and I don't want it to hold you back. So it's just a little shift in mindset. If you're someone that's interested in buying a training program, it doesn't have to be a MatchFit one, anything, but it's a little shift in mindset. So many people send me messages saying things like, how many pages do I get? Or how many minutes of video do I get access to in the program? And you might think that's a valid question, but it kind of grinds me a little bit because there's people with this belief that when you're buying something, you want more is better, when it's not actually always the case. So in my mind, you're buying a transformation, okay? When you're buying a training program, if you talk about the MatchFit one, you're buying a transformation, you're not buying information. Okay, so I don't just want to chuck loads of information at you, loads of it, and just say, you know, deal with that. You're actually paying for a transformation and results, not an ebook. So don't see it as you're paying for an ebook. See it as you're paying to get faster. You're paying to, you know, increase your stamina by 10% or something like that. I'll give you a little example. I think it's quite a good analogy. So I'm going to show you my ridiculous set of keys. So I call them my caretaker keys, and I basically have a massive bunch like that so that I can't lose them. But if I use the analogy that someone says, right, I've got the key to, I don't know, a treasure chest or something like that. Okay, so, and they say it's £100 for you to buy the key, and that's the key to unlock the treasure chest. Okay, you might think, okay, perfect. But instead of that, it's the same thing as saying, all right, instead of 1 key though, for £100, they're going to give you 30 keys. So you've got more for your money. But then straight away you're thinking, well, that's actually, I'm no better off because now I've got to route through 30 keys trying to find the one thing which is going to work to open the treasure chest. It's the same thing with a training program. I would rather give you everything on 1 page or 1 video and that deliver the result for you. Okay, so it's much easier for you to apply then. You don't have to go through loads and tons of information trying to find the answer. It's simpler to follow and it's got a better chance of you getting a result. Okay, so you would actually, it's better to pay a lot of the time more for less because it's a simpler solution and it's easier for you to access rather than just trying to get loads of stuff for your money, which means a lot of the time that it's going to be harder for you to apply it. So I don't know if that rings any bells here. I just wanted to get that off my chest because it grinds me a little bit when people ask that question. So not just talking about MatchFit programs, but if you're buying any program, remember you're buying the transformation first, and that requires that you put the work in. I also get emails from people who say things like, right, I'm not happy, the results, they're not working for me. I think, right, no problem, there's something going on here because you know, the principles which are in the programs, if you do them, you can't really make you go backwards unless there's something to do with your schedule. So they'll look at the purchase date and they purchased, you know, 4 days ago, and they say, right, I'm not any fitter. I'm not happy with the program. It's been 4 days since you started it. You can't expect overnight results or results in such a short space of time because things like training programs, you have to apply what's there for it to work. Okay, and you have to trust the person who's written the program that they can deliver the results for you. If the trust isn't there, then you're probably not going to follow the program. So make sure that if you're buying a program or anything, that you trust the person it's coming from first, because that means you're gonna follow it. And yeah, so that's the first point. Sorry, my mate Louise is just putting me off a little bit, please, asking for a jumper. So that's the first thing. And then secondly, I usually, when people say things like that after 4 days, no problem, have your money back, let's move on, because I only want to work with people with a certain mindset who realise that things like fitness training, it's a long-term thing. One workout is not going to do much for you. It's about following something consistently over time. Okay, now if you're expecting overnight results, it's not going to happen. The world's not a crazy enough place for you to undo 10 years of average training with 4 days of good training and suddenly see a miraculous result. It's a long-term thing, long-term vision. Need to work, right? Well, we want to work with players with that mindset, because when you get a program, it's not just like if it's a 4-week one, 4 weeks, see you later. Okay, you can continue asking advice the whole time. We're working with you long-term to get long-term results, because ultimately we want to make you the next top-level world-class player. That's what we're working with you guys who are a little bit younger, who are sort of on the verge of the first team, to make you into the next legends, because those top world-class players predominantly have got everything they already need within their own football club. So we want to help you players who don't have access to that stuff necessarily, reach that level, stay there, and even go to a higher level than that. Okay, hope that's clear. Sorry about the little rant, but I was going to do a podcast on it, but I thought let's just do a live video, because it's quicker and I can engage with you guys a little bit, please. Okay, let's just have a look at some of these questions, and then I'm going to give it 5 minutes, and then I'm going to call it a day on this one. Right. Thanks everyone who's commented, by the way. Okay, you might have realised as well that we never sort of post workouts by themselves. And it's basically because we've got such a strong belief that a workout, it's the same sort of philosophy as I said just now. It's not one workout's not going to do anything. It's like following the whole program. A workout that's got specific sets, reps, or times it's not going to do anything by itself. It needs to be part of something. It needs to be built into something else, which actually makes it mean something, so that you can get results, if you see what I mean. Okay. Got a question. What if money is a problem? Good question. So I'm guessing you mean that you can't afford something, or you know, some people, a lot of people can't necessarily afford things, but if something means enough to you, then chances are you'll find a way. So I know people who, I'm a member at a gym that's £90, £100 a month to be a member. Okay, this is just an example. It's about how important that is to your lifestyle and what goals you want to achieve. We're getting into some mindset stuff now, but just saying, there's some people who won't spend £90 on a gym membership, but they'll go out at the weekend and spend 150 quid on booze, and that's fine. But because it's a gym and it's 90 quid, it's out of the question. Gym membership, £10, £20, it's all they're willing to pay. So sometimes it's a question of it's a question of what your priorities are. But if you generally haven't got enough money, then you know, send the message to whoever you're trying to buy a program off. You know, they might be able to help you out or give you a special offer or come to some sort of arrangement. If you're really wanting to get your hands on it, then you need to go out of your way. If you can't afford it, you need to go out of your way to try and do what you can to try and get it. Whether that's starting on one program and then doing a split payment or something like that. Just some ideas. What I'm basically saying is that if there's a will, there's a way. If you want to become a better footballer, you know it requires putting the work. It requires doing a lot of boring stuff, missing out on some of the fun stuff. You need to make sacrifices sometimes. So it might mean that you need to take some money out of one thing, put it towards another thing to make an investment in yourself. Okay, sorry, it's a very long answer to quite a simple question. Okay, in your speed program, why shouldn't we lift heavy weights? It's a good question I'd whack that one in the Facebook community, because a lot of players will have that question. But basically, that program is designed for during the season. And we're not trying to create any sort of a lot of fatigue and soreness, so that's gonna negatively affect how you play in your matches. In the speed program that we got, that is designed for during the season, we're predominantly looking at acceleration in that. Whereas when you're using heavier weights, you're more looking at some maximum speed stuff. But in my eyes, acceleration is more important for footballers, that the speed over the first 5, 10, 15 metres. And if we can get a little bit of an edge in that during the season, then that can make all the difference towards the end of the season and in your matches in general, in terms of reaction time and reaching things like 50-50 balls, goal line clearances, things that can win cup matches towards the end of your game. So hopefully that answer helps. But yeah, heavier weights of speed training, that is something you can do, but it's going to create more soreness, and that's more working on your top speed. Footballers rarely get a chance to reach their maximum speed, so which is why our speed program more focuses on the acceleration phase. Okay, I'm going to do one more question. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Okay, let's have a look. How can having an inappropriate footprint / mechanics get you injured? I think, so you're referring to movement mechanics here. So basically, just doing things once or twice isn't going to have a massive impact. It's if your mechanics are poor and you're repeating those poor movement mechanics, it's going to put extra strain on muscle groups, overwork certain muscles. The position of your body is going to make you higher risk of injury because of the impacts going through your joints and things like that. That's basically how it's going to increase your risk of injury. If you're a player who moves really poorly and you've been doing it for years, you might find that you're not as efficient at absorbing force and impact, and therefore you get more muscular injuries and strains and things like that. All right, I hope this helps everyone. As I said, join the Facebook community. On Facebook, just type in MatchFit Community. We're always in there every single day, helping players out, answering questions, trying to engage you guys, getting you thinking about your performance at the weekend and things like that. So yeah, any questions, send us a message on the Facebook community. Love to see you in there. Thanks for following, and yeah, speak to you soon.